Reporter Robert, joined by Jonny from London with a local. Tell us about your job.
So my job is to take people visiting the city, whether they're live in London and they're visiting, or travelling from all over the world around this part of London, Shoreditch, in the borough of Hackney. Show them street art like this, show them freehand spray painting, stencil work, sculptures, posters, show them some of the most famous artists in the world, and show them artists that are just starting out as well. I do a 2-hour walking tour.
And how do you keep people engaged on your tour? And can you answer loudly?
Firstly, I speak loudly. That's one thing I do to engage people. I think a lot of street art, well, the beauty of this tour is that the art changes all the time. The whole world is alive. So the tour is always very relevant to that day. I could do a tour today, then I come back tomorrow, there's a chance that this piece might not be here.
The only constant is change.
Exactly, the only constant is change, which keeps it on its toes. People feel like they're having a unique individual experience. There's a lot of political stuff, a lot of topical stuff as well. Talk about something that's happening in the news, talk about pop culture, and that engages people as well.
And can you name a few of your favourite artists?
Well, of course, the classics such as Banksy, Zabu, Roa, Invader, Jimmy C. I really love an artist called Shot One, who kind of does stencil works with X-rays. Perhaps slightly lesser known Subdued London does brilliant posters, satirical political posters, and Falco One, who paints elephants and various other creatures as well.
Thanks for the extra names.
It's alright.
Can you tell us about the graffiti behind you?
This piece here, yeah. God knows, it feels like a lifetime ago. I can't remember how long it was ago, but our old Mayor of London, Boris Johnson, now leader of the Tory party, was elected in. So two artists, Sam Shure and Anti, decided to collaborate together, which is actually quite unique, to paint Boris Johnson depicted as a clown.
Can I ask your opinion of Boris Johnson?
Yeah, not a big fan. Not a big fan. Now that's the interesting thing about this part of London. Shoreditch is liberal, very liberal. And we're about a 5-minute walk from the city of London. So banking and money are far more conservative.
Do you think Boris Johnson should have handled the coronavirus differently?
Not getting into that.
And how's the coronavirus affected your tours?
Not good. It's heavily affected it. Today is August. This is my first street art tour since March. I spent the last 4 months living with my parents. Sorry, Mum and Dad. Tourism, is one of the... London is huge for tourism. It's one of the leading tourist places in the world, and it's really affected. But it's good to see that it's back.
Are your mum and dad proud of you for doing this job?
I think so. I hope so. They've been on the Harry Potter tour. They like that one.
And do you want to plug any other tours for the camera?
All of them. LondonWithALocal.com. You can do the Harry Potter tour, Jack the Ripper tour, East, West, and others. All online. LondonWithALocal.com.
How did you become a tour guide?
A friend of mine suggested, he recommended the job to me. He said, why don't you be a guide on the speedboats on the Thames? And I went for the job interview. I was seasick and I forgot everything that I prepared. But I loved the idea of the job, so I applied for loads of companies online. And a guy who runs a Harry Potter tour got in touch with me, asked if I read the books, seen the films, and I was like, well, yeah, I'm British, of course I am, and I'm, millennial.
Geeky.
Huh?
Geeky,
yeah. And that was about 4 years ago. And now that was the first tour I learned. Now I do the ghost tour, pub tour, food tour, street art, Soho, Jack the Ripper, East, West, South.
Ali G, West is the best.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and feel free to put this on YouTube as well, you have my consent.
Thank you. Are you an artist yourself?
No, I tried it once when I was about 12, I was terrible. I'm an admirer, I'm an audience member for this.
I'm an admirer of you because you have the gift of the gab and you give a good spiel.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.